Hey, welcome. If you're just finding this site, I'm Neil Hauger and I'm a land specialist with Whitetail Properties Real Estate, and I talk about how to buy, manage, and sell American land. You know, on almost a daily basis, I'm taking calls from people that are looking for that perfect piece of property. They're working all types of agents, they're looking on all types of sites, and frankly, they're going about it all wrong. So I thought I'd do this video on about how to find a property, how to do the process right, how to recognize an opportunity when you see it. So we're going to talk about 12 different ways that I've identified that'll help you find that perfect piece of land, but we're going to break it into 3 different episodes, 4 each. So on today's episode of The American Landman, how to find, how to recognize that perfect farm. You know, I spend hours and hours and many weekends driving around with buyers looking at properties or trying to find them a property. And everyone's looking for the same thing, and it's just human nature. You want the beautiful farmhouse, picturesque rolling hills, green, lush fields, corrals for your animals, and just, a perfect little quaint farm. But I can tell you, those farms are few and far between, and if you do find them, they're going to be at a premium. Instead, the first point I'm going to make is look for junk. Drive around at these properties and look for properties that have junk laying everywhere. I tell you, it's an eyesore for sure, but it's an easy equity gain and usually means a lower list price. Most people are going to drive right past those properties. They're not even going to take the second look. They see all that work and they think, no way, that's not for me. But I could tell you from experience that if you see a bunch of junk laying around, it's usually a couple weekends, a dumpster, and if you do that, you're going to get $400, $500, $600 per acre equity just by simply doing a little work. Get your friends out there, a couple pieces of pizzas, a couple of cases of beer, and get some help and do the work. Junk can be money on the front end and big equity on the back end. So you're out driving around and you come up to this quaint little farmhouse and it looks like it's in really bad shape. The landscape is overgrown and the yard hasn't been cut. And maybe there's garbage laying around the house and it just kind of looks disheveled. But that may be the one you want. I call those homes the lipstick on the pig house. And what do I mean by that? Well, if you come in with a power washer and a dumpster and a lawnmower, you can do amazing things to these properties. Sometimes it's just a matter that the owners have gotten tired, or maybe they moved away, or maybe it's an estate sale. If you find these homes that just need a little bit of TLC and all the mechanicals are good, the roof and the septic and the furnace and the AC units, if they're all functional, maybe it just needs a little lipstick on that pig. So if you can find that house with a little bit of sweat equity, a little bit of time and some friends helping you, you might turn that house around really easy. Find the homes that need a little lipstick on the pig. You know, these days, everybody shops online. They use sites like Zillow and Trulia and realtor.com. And if you go through those sites, and I'm sure you are, look for the homes that have really bad photos. You've seen them. The toilet seat's up. There's a bed and it's all messed up. There's personal stuff all over the countertops, garbage laying everywhere. The worse the pictures, the better the property potentially. Because if you could look past that, if you can imagine what that property can look like when it's got some new paint inside and everything is fixed up, you're going to push past 90% of the folks that just cannot get past those bad photos. Most of the realtors these days are editing these photos. They're touching them up, or they're even having professionals do it. But every now and then, you're going to see somebody that went in there with their phone or a cheap camera. The worse pictures, the better. It could be a real diamond in the rough. You know, about 4 years ago, I listed a property, and when I opened up the door to that house, I was hit by this essence of garbage and cat urine and dog feces, and I'm telling you, it was bad. But when you walk into those properties, I want you to do this. I want you to go, what's that smell like? And turn to your wife and say, money. Because that's what it is. Lots of times it's just a matter of a bucket of water, some bleach, some spray, get in there, vacuum, clean out the carpets, just get the junk out of there, and those homes can really turn out to be a gem. So if you walk into a property and it smells like something died, don't be afraid, because that could be the smell of money. Now this next tip is going to go against all conventional wisdom, and that's talking about realtors. And I'm going to tell you this: find the worst realtor in the town. Why would you do that? Well, it's not that they're a terrible person, okay? But find that realtor that maybe doesn't do the job very often. They might be part-time, they might be older, they might just be brand new. And when they list a property, they have no idea what they have. They're not aware of the market. They don't have good marketing. They don't have excellent tools at their disposal to help decide what a price is for a property, the comps. And as such, you might find an underpriced property. Well, this happened to me about 2 years ago. I was looking for a farm for a client, and we looked around and I found a property that was listed at about $1,500 per acre. And I went and I said, you know, this doesn't make sense. This area, I'm selling this area for $1,900 to $2,300 per acre. Well, the long and short is she didn't know what she had. This was an old farm. It was all fallow. There was row crop fields, and they were full of weeds, and she just did not know what she had. She wasn't a land specialist, and I honestly don't know if she had even been in the market, in the business for very long. So it's not to say that she's a terrible agent, but what I mean by find the worst agent, find somebody that's just uninformed, because they might have a property that is a diamond in the rough and it's exactly what you're looking for, and it could be money in the form of being underpriced. Hey, well, we're going to go ahead and wrap up this week's episode because it's starting to snow, as you can see, and frankly, I'm getting cold as heck, so I'm going to wrap it up. So we're talking about buying, managing, and selling land, how to find some hidden equity, some hidden gems when you're out looking for a property. And I hope you enjoyed this episode. Be sure to check in next week and the week after as we do episode 2 and episode 3. Hey, I'm Neil Hauger, and I'm a land specialist with Whitetail Properties Real Estate, and you've been watching The American Landman.